And we are back with Ben Grandin talking spring planting. All right, so this one says, does spraying hydrogen peroxide on the grass help limit fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes?
I don't believe so. Hydrogen peroxide is a sterilant as far as dealing with plant diseases. It does get rid of a lot of fungal spores. It does get rid of a lot of bacteria, but I do not believe that it works on fleas and mosquitoes.
Okay. In the last segment, you talked about how begonias were a good plant to plant if you really didn't have a green thumb. And this person then followed up and asked, when do I plant begonias?
I think middle of April is perfect. Middle to late April is perfect time to get all your annual flowers in the ground for all your summer planting.
Okay, and someone's asking about peace lilies. Can we plant them outside in our climate?
Yes, peace lilies do good. They might not overwinter, but they'll be happy in the summer as long as they get a shady area.
Okay. How about any advice that you have for keeping deer away from the garden?
Deer are really hard, and especially in our urban area, we are getting more and more deer pressure. I think the really best way to deal with deer is fences. You can get some temporary plastic fence around the garden for the summertime, or you can get something more permanent. There are a lot of new technologies as far as hot fences or electric fences where you can get a quick solar panel charger and run that along the fence to try to deter them from getting into that garden.
All right, we got another critter that someone's asking about. What can I do about moles that are eating my plants?
Moles are really, really tricky. We do have a few rodenticides that are right and labeled for control of moles in this area. If you have dogs, cats, or kids playing in the yard, I do not recommend using any of those products. But a lot of times with the moles, I will simply try to crush those moles and try to make a unpleasant area for them to be in. If they continually come back, sometimes I simply have to put some chicken wire at the bottom of the raised bed to stop them from getting into those containers. If it's in ground, I just have to make it as unhospitable as possible for them.
Okay, gotcha. Here's a different kind of critter, but it's for an inside house plant. It says, my question is, how do I get rid of mealy bugs on house plants? And I don't even know what a mealy bug is.
Mealy bugs are real small little white fuzzy things. They are insects. What I typically like in an indoor environment is insecticidal soap. Insecticidal soap can be bought as a concentrate or simply in a spray bottle. You take some water, a few drops of dish detergent, you spray those mealy bugs directly, and what it does is it sort of suffocates them out using that soapy water solution.
I love this question. How do you plant if you have clay soil? Because I see stuff on the side of the road, just like this person, right? Where stuff is just growing all wild and it's beautiful, but it doesn't do that in our yard with all that clay soil.
I think the hard part with clay soils, like we were saying earlier, is the lack of drainage. If we get a lot of rain on our clay soil, the water doesn't really infiltrate into the soil, making it harder for the plant roots to grow. In order to amend that clay soil, I like putting down some sort of organic matter, either a cow manure or a chicken manure, trying to till that into the soil and really increase the ability for the water to infiltrate into those soils.
Gotcha, okay. What flowers grow best in the shade? And I'm looking for a perennial.
That's a hard one. There's a lot of really beautiful flowers that grow great in the shade. What I recommend is go into your local botanical garden in about a month or two, see what's popping up, see what's thriving in the local areas, take a picture of it, get a good identification, go to your local garden center and say, that's the one I want.
Okay, speaking of that, I was thinking that, you were talking about how we should wait for a little while to plant our containers and beds and things of that nature. But we're all doing that window shopping, right? Where we're going out because we're seeing all those beautiful plants. And I'm afraid if I don't buy them now, that they'll be gone, the colors and the sizes that I want. So can we buy them now? And if we do that, how do we keep them and wait until we have to plant them?
You definitely can purchase plants now. Say you found the exact variety of tomatoes that you were looking for and you wanted to go ahead and get them. You keep them on the front porch during the daytime. Just make sure you bring them in at night. Keeping them on the front porch will allow them to get plenty of light. If they don't get enough light, they will get very leggy and they will start growing really tall. But if you keep them on the front porch, that should keep them with enough light for that next few weeks before you can get them in the ground.
Okay, we got a couple of when is the best time? So this one is, when is the best time to plant peonies?
I would say this time of year is a great time to plant peonies or peonies. I think this is perfect time as long as you can find the plants.
Okay, and what are the sun conditions for hydrangeas?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
What are the sun conditions for hydrangeas?
Typically full sun with a little bit of shade. Some hydrangeas like a little bit more shade, some like a little bit more sun. It really depends on the particular type of hydrangea. The big blue ones like a little bit of shade, the white ones like a little bit more sunlight.
Okay, we have about a minute left. What would you like to leave folks with, like thoughts about when planting or, irrigation or whatever?
Vegetable gardening is a great time to get out there, be in the sunshine, get your hands dirty, and really become an avid producer of the things that you need in life. Being able to grow your own crops is extremely, rewarding, and it really gives the ability to provide for the family and provide something that's a unique experience, that isn't always available in the stores. When you're planting your garden, definitely plant a little bit more than you expect to harvest because the bugs will take some from you. But as long as you plant a little bit more than you were prepared for, you'll get plenty and enough to share with all your neighbors.
Like it. Okay, fantastic. Thank you for your time and your expertise. If you missed any of this, you can go back into the Two Wants to Know section to watch it.